What's up, guys? I'm recording another little commentary. This match isn't too special. I just wanted to say something about Defiant. Talk about it a little bit. I can't even see it. That's way better. Okay. I didn't mean to have my face cam on. It just was still on from when I was streaming, so that's just gonna be in the video.
Take the capture zones to open the next tier.
I think this game really isn't gonna last that long. But like, it's not because it performs badly or it isn't fun. I don't think it really has like the marketing or the image that it should. You probably play the game, you saw gameplay and maybe gave it like look around themselves might see how it is. I think it's a really great game. Like, you know, if you end up playing it, it's like surprising how it does kind of tick those boxes when it comes to shooters and online. Like, I'm kind of addicted. Like, I want to level up, I want to unlock stuff, I want to get the battle pass, I want to get the boosters, I want to do the challenges. Right. But I feel like the whole experience can be soured by the trajectory of the game, where like, you know, people need to hear the developers tell them that there's like a roadmap, there's this coming out, there's that, this map's coming out, I saw. But, you know, there needs to be like more people outside of the game putting like stuff together, like most games, you know, they have the community making like art and people being buddies, and then developers, you know, having plans for the game, and that just being more like open, that being like more widely known, and it being like trying to go for more inclusion. I think it would make the game grow and last a lot longer. Right. I'm gonna be playing this game like every day. Every day for at least like an hour or two, if I can, right? And it's definitely shown me what's missing from other games, which is like that competitive acceptance. Like, the game's hard, it's competitive, and like we accept that, and we want that to be protected. Not like, oh, the game's too hard, so we're not even gonna acknowledge people that good, or we're not really the community. You know, because I've played Call of Duty, you know, when it was big, and it still is, but I mean, like, it wasn't a memory. There was no memories of Call of Duty. It was like new, right? Like, the idea of a Call of Duty game coming out, playing it, going for high prestiges, you know, like that was regular. Like, it wasn't a memory. It wasn't like something that already happened. But I kind of get how that goes, where like people are already kind of burnt out from running around doing that. Like, it's not that new of an idea. It's not revolutionary, especially when you had seasons and battle passes. That never was fresh to people, and it still isn't. So like, that's, you know, my only concern is the game not growing big enough before it loses its buzz, right? Before it loses its like initial shock and buzz, it not growing and being like shown enough people, like it not getting a natural root inside the people that play these type of games, right? It almost being like a meme. But like, those are just my concerns. I'm sure the game will be fine. Like, even I could make my little videos about it and share my concerns, and, you know, give my praise and criticism, which I really don't have any criticism, right? Because a shooter's a shooter. Like, it's all about the balancing from developers. There's nothing really to complain about. If there was like a bunch of bugs, that'd be different. But sometimes those are fun for however long they last. Like, back in the day, you had the riot shield sprinting, knifing bug. You had the javelin glitch where you'd explode if someone killed you. That was fun, but like, it wasn't like forever. It wasn't like that forever. There's nothing to complain about, in my opinion. But the game's very difficult based off shooting, aiming, you know. It feels a lot better. Usually, you know, back in other shooters, you'd run around a corner, That would happen. It would happen so often where you'd run around the corner and it'd feel like you were around the corner, but you would die. Like this doesn't really happen in this game. People like are a lot more accurate. Like they either straight up kill you before you even get to running, or get to running. Or like nothing like that happens. Like nothing's very cheap because skill level is so high. It's like no, bro, they actually got you. Like there's really no, I guess, programming issue or whatever with the engine. I wouldn't say I'm burnt out on shooters because I never experienced that many different shooters. Like Call of Duty, I'm kind of burnt out on that. It's Call of Duty and like there's been so many of them. But as far as shooters in general, I'm not really burnt out on them, right? Like Battlefield, if there was another Battlefield, I'd play it. You know, if there was any other shooter, I'd play it, right? I just hope that the community and developers and everyone involved in this game can like put enough into it, you know, because you know, in a lot of people's minds, and it is kind of true that being competitive and really high tier is stuffy and kind of sad because it's just like bullying sometimes. Like it's not like right, but I'm hoping there's a lot of activities and like memorable things that can occur to make the game flourish, grow, you know, expand. And it not just be like a stuffy shooter, or even like a cheap free-to-play game. I'm saying, I just hope that it could be cared for a little more than other games would need. I feel like this game would need that. It just came out, so you know, like I'm gonna do my part. Even though I don't have a large following, you know, I'm definitely gonna do little things here and there, you know, try to share some information about future plans, you know, something coming out, or just make videos about it, because this game's very interesting to me. I'm really excited to see what type of factions they release next, and type of powers they're going to have, abilities, and all that stuff, you know. This is really the beginning, and a lot of times you'd hear that, and, you know, the game had some, you know, pre-release exposure and, you know, pushing advertising. You know, usually it could be like Call of Duty, like some legendary addition to the franchise, but this is just a new shooter. It's free to play, you know, it isn't connected to anything. You know, Ubisoft is a big studio or whatever, a big company, but their track record's kind of spotty. You know, they had Assassin's Creed 1 and then they got spotty. You know, they had, you know, they had a good start, but then they kind of got spotty with a lot of their titles. Like Ghost Recon was really good, it's legendary. It got spotty, right? Assassin's Creed was really good, legendary. It got pretty spotty to people. I like all these Assassin's Creeds. I like the Ghost Recon games. They're just not my cup of tea after playing like 8 of them or 9 of them, and it's not what I want at that point, right? Like they're still cool. I really like Ghost Recon. So I think this is really going to help Ubisoft out. Maybe not Defiant, maybe not anyone, but it'll help Ubisoft out, showing that they can really make a great game that stands above the rest, especially in a day and age where there isn't much competition, because Call of Duty already kind of had its run in the shooter world, and it's Call of Duty, you know, and there's other things, but this is the new thing, and it's very, very good. It really proves that Ubisoft could have made a shooter, right? They could have been mainstream and been like the main title. It proves that they're not washed up. It proves that they're not just a failing studio these days. Like they're actually a great studio. And I know, like everyone knows that they are, but you know, they're putting battle passes. They're making games that no one wants to be made. You know, that's people's opinion. Like we didn't want this. Like we didn't want Assassin's Creed to be like Odyssey or Valhalla. Like we didn't want to buy the Assassin's Creed games like in a pack or anything, or wait for them to come out. They're like, right, like people know that like Ubisoft does have some great titles and some great IPs, some great ideas to begin with, but they did kind of fall off. I would say in terms of quality, like this game isn't special to me. Like it is, but I played other games from Ubisoft and like they could have put a lot more magic into it, I guess, right? This definitely proves that Ubisoft is like the top dog, and it basically is. You know, a lot of like if you like kind of follow the timeline of games releases and like popularity, a lot of companies have problems with Call of Duty. Call of Duty was kind of going hard, and everything people said mimicked or copied, but they didn't ever really do their own thing and surpass Call of Duty. It wasn't a thing. And then after Call of Duty, you had like battle passes, you had seasons, you had DLC, and that was an issue because not only were gaming companies not superior to Call of Duty, or they weren't releasing anything better than Call of Duty, they just immediately after the Call of Duty massacre start putting out battle passes and season passes, and they're still a thing today. And I think they're the worst aspect to games because they're the most boring, soul-sucking aspect. Trying to level battle pass. Not only that, you probably have to pay for the battle pass, right? And you know, maybe you're excited about one of the battle passes, you put some time into it, but putting your time and effort into like 8 battle passes or 8 seasons is ridiculous. Like you never even put that much effort into the base game before there were seasons. Like a season before season 1 came out, you weren't even, no one was even doing anything like that. Right? Insane. All right, like if they're gonna put out these plans to make games seasonal, you know, I think that's just gonna let their game go and die because no one wants that. Like, no one wants to play the game for 8 seasons. Like, if you're gonna make people play the game for a stretch of a period of time and give them like cosmetics and like buffs, which doesn't even really amount to anything because you have to use those buffs or cosmetics more than likely in the next season, right? It just is draining. It's not invigorating. I don't even know. I don't even know why they're doing this. Is it for money? I don't know. Is that like their only idea? Who knows? You know, even Defiant has a battle pass, and it's soul sucking to see, especially this battle pass. Like you're leveling up so slow. Like I start battle pass and it's like level 1, level 2, very slow. It's like I'm not gonna be grinding battle passes, buddy. I'm not doing that. Like I don't grind anything that hard, right? Like if I put battle pass outside of my mind, I'm not gonna play the game that hard and try to grind for something I don't even want, right? But I feel like, you know, that's the time period, you know, that's like, those are like the great tragedies of gaming. You had Call of Duty kind of made every other game have to do something, or people just like, yeah, your game's not the best. And Call of Duty to me isn't that special or great. Like, it's not even that deep. And then you had like battle passes and seasons, like, you know, there was like straight DLC, but people kind of, they got away from DLC and went more with like battle passes, you know, season passes or seasons and stuff. But you know, that's just how gaming is doing it. And then, you know, just kind of like waters down the actual experience because there's nothing else to do other than grind battle passes. So like, I'm not accounting for the battle pass or how the battle pass and seasons are gonna go hand in hand with whatever content comes out for this game or how the game progresses. I'm not really gonna acknowledge that because it's never anything really worth me saying because I have no clue what the battle pass or seasons are doing for anybody that they couldn't have just released more content, right? Like, just add more content to the game that adds to the rest of the game, not a season that adds just a season, then once season's gone, there's no more season. Like, there's nothing like that going on anymore. That's kind of terrible. Like, if they had added all that content from the seasons together, you'd have a very big, deep game with tons of different themes and things to do. It wouldn't be that coherent, probably, but people just like content. They don't really care about... People like a lot of content in games. Like, they don't want 3 months of this and 3 months of that. Like, I'm not gonna really talk about battle pass. It's nothing I really can predict, or nothing I really agree with. But, you know, hopefully they add more weapons, you know, and maps, which there already are some maps they're gonna add. More factions, more powers. You know, I hope, you know, all that. I'm sure it will happen. But I think people do need to do their part and tell people about the game and share their experiences and try to make it a very, like, flowy, you know, refreshing experience or like group of people, so the game can expand and grow beyond just it being a stuffy, hardcore shooter, because that's what it comes off as. Eventually, like, you're like, all right, we've already just went crazy bonkers on like 8 matches. Like me personally, I can talk for other people. Like I don't really want to even do all that hardcore shooter stuff. Like we need to make sure people who would love this game play it, and you know everyone should try it. It's free to play, right? There's any more content, I'm sure. You know, I really have good things to say. Like I'm not gonna be stressing about battle passes and seasons because someone else has that whole realm understood. Like I don't even really get it.
Another zone falls. That's revenge.
I don't get it, right? I don't know. I don't know.
Zone compromised.
I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm going to try not to talk about it. You know, in this game mode or in this gameplay, I'm using a shotgun, using the mines, and playing defense. Pretty exciting and interesting using a shotgun and mines, but they're very easy to use at the end of the day. Nothing compared to like any other weapon, but I still think it's fun, right? I wouldn't say it's cheap because you don't have any range with the shotgun. Like you're not, but like if you do get close to someone, you get the drop on them, like they're basically dead. I wouldn't say it's like the revolutionary hardcore thing to do, but it's fun. I like to use it. You know, maybe I'll use a sniper rifle in some videos. Start using the sniper rifle or something, but you know the video's at the end, so you know, I'm gonna get up out of here.
Throwing grenade.
Oh, another good point is Defiant shouldn't. Ubisoft isn't the biggest game provider like Uplay, all that. That's a very poorly reviewed system. Not because it works poorly, it's just nothing on it but Ubisoft games. Right? You do have the Ubisoft point system though. You can buy like some boosters for Defiant and all that. But you know, they really should have thought about putting Defiant on someone else's service because there's really no point of me jumping on Uplay or whatever it is at this point. Every like couple of years when I am playing a Ubisoft game, because they're good games, but it's just not a service that provides much. It provides Ubisoft games and not much else. So I really think they should find a way to put Defiant on like Steam or some other provider, because that can get them a lot of players. Because I had to find the download for all this. You know, Defiant Ubisoft on like I had to like Google it. It wasn't somewhere where people that play computer games or anything would be able to find it, because most people that play computer games aren't just gonna have Uplay or whatever it's called, Ubisoft's thing. I like to have all my games on Steam. Like that's just me. I know a lot of people prefer that because it's not like they're providing some crazy service. Other than like I know that's why I'm not gonna have them, because this is a big game and it is good for them. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll like probably talk about that once on the video. I'm gonna get out of here, but you know, thanks for checking my videos.